The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets and Ty Simpson. Will it happen? The latest reports from the NFL Scouting Combine. Buffalo Jet fan will join me. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it. You got it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. We are back from the Combine. Big thank you to everyone who tuned into our coverage throughout the week. Some incredible interviews on the channel. Some great moments. Make sure you check out whatever you might have missed. Yesterday, we posted the interview with Chris Sims of NBC and Connor Rogers, of course, of Badlands, SNY, and NBC. So check that out. Posted the interview that aired live on the show with Matt Miller this morning, and you guys will see some more content from the Combine coming on the channel throughout the weekend. Before we bring on our esteemed guest, the great Buffalo Jet fan, I want to remind everyone that tomorrow night, that is Sunday at 6 Eastern, it is the official bracket reveal for the second annual Asmaniac Madness Tournament. We will see you at 6 Eastern for the field of 68 to be announced right here on the channel. So looking forward to that tomorrow night. Big shout out to the committee for making all of it happen. With that said, let's say hello to a good friend of the program. He is the Buffalo Jet fan. BJF, how we feeling? The New York Jets at the Combine, the center of the NFL universe with pick 2, the Jermaine Johnson trade, and with the quarterbacks working out today, all eyes will be on Ty Simpson.
Yeah, a lot going on. And by the way, putting me as the first guest after all these celebrities you've had on is tough spot you put me in here, man.
I knew you could handle it, man. I recognize the greatness in you.
All right, man. Let's chop it up. I'm excited. I'm excited for this this draft. I think we got a little bit more buzz, crazy athletes out there. So definitely feels like, the whole this is a terrible draft stuff, it has died down a bit. I think a little bit more reasons for excitement, which is good because we got a lot of picks.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And I think just the way these guys have tested, especially at the premium positions the Jets are in on, I think you've definitely started to see that. Let me just start with this then. If the draft were today, what's your gut tell you the Jets would do with that second overall pick?
Arvell Reese, I think, is going to be the pick. And you never know how much this plays in with different GMs, but I think there is a factor of, do you want to be the team that passed on Arvell Reese? And he's going and doing the Micah Parsons ceiling that you can envision. And I do think that obviously hiring Carl Dunbar, the trading of Jermaine Johnson for Devondre Sweat, the tea leaves are that they're probably going to have a little bit more 3-4-iness to their defense. And I think he is a really, really good fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker because that allows you to tap into his complete skill set. I think you want to chase a ceiling to some extent here, but I think he has things about him that raise his floor higher than maybe some of his skeptics would give him credit for. I think it's going to be Arvell Reese. And if it's not him, probably like a gap and then David Bailey. And then I think like down past that, Styles, Bain, Downs are really taking up some small chunks of the pie chart.
So I agree with you. I think it's going to be Reese. That was my feeling leaving Indy yesterday from just talking to different people around there. The only thing I could think of is there any scenario where Sonny Styles can enter the conversation? Just because if the goal is to get like a guaranteed stud, it's tough to watch Sonny Styles tape. The fact that he transitioned from safety to linebacker as smoothly as he had, the way he tested, like he has the same testing numbers basically as Reese. Mm-hmm. Is it possible that Sonny Styles could play himself into the conversation? I don't think it's likely because I do think it's going to be Reese, but that's the one guy out there that I think we maybe should talk a little more about than maybe we are at this point.
Also, if they're going to go with a try to go the elite player non-premium position route, I think it would be more likely to be Styles than Downs. And Styles, look, the Jets could take Sonny Styles and I would sleep like a baby. I mean, the dude is he's a freak. And although off-ball linebacker is not seen as a premium position, a linebacker who can cover, there's like 3 of those dudes in the NFL. So it is a very scarce skill set. And he, towards the end of the season, he really put it together where he's like as complete of an off-ball linebacker prospect as you can ask for. I think he's a force multiplier in your coverage unit. But his block shedding and his play strength really got good down the stretch. There's no athletic or like frame limitations. And also if you're taking Arvell Reese, and I'm sure different teams do this differently, if you want a linebacker who can sometimes rush the passer, I think Sonny Styles, you could argue, would be better than Arvell Reese because he is more proven in the coverage. Like the dropping into zone coverage aspect of Arvell Reese's game is much more of a projection. He's so athletic. I think you could probably coach him to do anything. But Sonny Styles is like getting depth and like covering 2 players at once by trusting his length and his closing speed and his IQ. Hell yeah. Now, obviously, if you see that inverted, whereas you want a guy who's going to be more like an Andrew Van Ginkel, who's going to play 70% on the ball and then tap into some of the dropping and spying, then Arvell Reese is your guy. So it kind of depends on what avenue of hybriding you want to do. But Sonny Styles, I think, is the best player. Him or Jeremiah Love are the best players in the class, regardless of positional value.
We're talking with the Buffalo Jet fan. If you guys have a question about a prospect or something Jet related, certainly write it in and we will bring it up on the screen. I want to remind everyone that at the end of this stream, a special Saturday weekly raffle will happen on the show. This is truly your last show to enter to win a signed Namath helmet, signed Ravis helmet, and a signed Garrett Wilson football. Those are the 3 prizes we raffle away at the end of the show. BJF, let's talk about the quarterback situation. Ty Simpson, it sounds like his meeting with the Jets went really well. I heard that from the Jet side and obviously from talking to Ty directly. And once Ty Simpson did this yesterday,
AETS, Jets.
seems like some Jet fans are warming up to the idea of the Alabama QB being one of the Jets picks. What's your take on Simpson as we sit here now about 50-something days out from the draft?
In short, I think Ty Simpson is a second-round quarterback who's going to get a half-round bump and probably go late, mid to late round 1. I still think that I would not prefer the Jets take Ty Simpson at 16. Now, if there's a world in which he falls and he's there at 30, 31, you want to come up a couple of spots to prevent a team selling it further down the board. I'd be fine with that. And it's just really like a guy who's 6'1", 210 pounds, who has 15 starts. And I know that's lazy analysis, but I can't quite get over that in terms of a high investment. Now, beyond that, I think Ty Simpson has a lot more traits than people give him credit for. Like, Ty Simpson's got a good arm. Ty Simpson can move. Ty Simpson was asked to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage and set his protection and make audibles. Ty Simpson can rip through a 3 progression read and like hit, the backside dig and make anticipation, tough, tight window throws. I think we hear the name Alabama, but this isn't like COVID era Nick Saban Alabama teams. He had a worse supporting cast than Fernando Mendoza and then Dante Moore. So I think Ty Simpson is a very intriguing prospect. There's a lot to like. Like, he makes Sunday plays. He has Sunday traits. But the history of guys with that amount of starts. And the injury concerns, it's like, yes, you were playing poorly because you were injured, but also you're smaller and you're not an elite athlete. So you worry about him taking the wear and tear of an NFL season. But really it also comes down to, like, Jake, if they take him at 16, right? Because people say, well, you could just take another quarterback the following year. Are you sure about that? Because pick 16 is $20 million guaranteed. Woody Johnson didn't want to pay Wink Martindale. So if you take Ty Simpson at pick 16 and, he's kind of struggling and the staff is fired, Woody Johnson might tell the next staff, okay, go ahead and fix Ty Simpson, right? Whereas I think if you take him at 33, for example, when the Saints took Tyler Shough, I think if Tyler Shough looked unplayable, horrific, and the Saints had the number 1 pick, they're probably taking Mendoza and going about their day. So that's the trade-off to me. It's not Ty Simpson or Keldrick Falk. It's Ty Simpson, like, tethering yourself to him and then skipping on next year's quarterback class, and then someone ends up being a Hall of Famer. Like, it's just too risky for me at 16. But I like a lot of things about him. And if he is somehow on the board towards the 30s or even at pick 33, I'd absolutely think it'd be justifiable taking a swing at him at that point in the draft.
33, I'm on board with it. I would get it. 16, you're
Mhm.
right. While I do think it wouldn't necessarily definitively stop them from doing it next year, it would depend where they're picking, right? I mean,
Right.
if the Jets aren't in range of the top 3 to get the consensus top guys, maybe they wouldn't roll the dice with another quarterback a year from now. And then you don't know who the coach is at that point, right? Like if you're in a spot where you took Simpson, but then you have a new coaching staff coming in that didn't draft him in the first place, are you burning the pick? So I don't like it at 16, but I will admit, Ty Simpson has a lot of things that you could look at and go, well, you could justify what happened with his season going the way it did. He was great at the beginning. Then when he got hurt and he lost all the weight and Alabama's offensive line fell apart, Alabama had no running game. You could say, well, he played really well in that first playoff game and the comeback against Oklahoma. Like you could talk yourself into Simpson if you want. But again, I keep coming back to this one thing. 15 career starts in the history of guys with that little starts translating at the next level. It's not great. So I'm not doing it at pick 16, even though I appreciate the fact that he knows how to pander to us Jet fans by giving us that JETS Jet chant yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that I think he would come in like more ready to handle the cognitive aspect of the position, like the coach's son trope and what he was asked to do. But even I think guys who have had a small number of starts and come in and look the part right away, like Cam Newton, obviously, and then to some extent Kyler Murray. Like Cam Newton was the most athletic, like the most physically gifted quarterback prospect ever, and even Kyler. Like, dude, Kyler Murray could have been a professional baseball player. He is a crazy athlete. He could flick his wrist and throw it 70 yards. So typically the guys who come in and have limited starts and are successful right away, they have like a fastball that they can come in and like, hey, this is going to play right away while I figure out the other parts of my game. It was the same reservations I had with Dante Moore. It's like a 20-year-old who has limited starts, not elite traits, just a little risky, but I like him a lot, man. I definitely, I'm sure Sean McVay will get him at the end of round 1 and he'll be amazing. And then we'll have to hear about that for a long time. So, you know how it goes.
People are saying you need an Alabama quarterback to break the Joe Namath curse that some Jet fans believe in. So maybe that's another reason why they got to take Ty Simpson. He's a Bama dude.
Hey, we got to end it how we started it. I support this.
Buffalo Jet fan with us here again. We have the raffle at the end of the show. Make sure you enter. You can win a Garrett Wilson signed ball, Revis signed helmet, and a Joe Namath signed helmet on today's show. I want to keep talking draft with you, but I'd be remiss if we didn't get your take on Napgate. I defended Aaron Glenn. You guys know I'm a huge Glenn guy. I've always defended him. Think he's an outstanding coach who's been mistreated by the big bad media. So I defended Aaron Glenn's right to nap yesterday. What was your take on the nap scene around the world?
Well, I think didn't Robert Saleh not even go last year? So it's an upgrade, even if he is napping. Well, I think what was funny to that was whether he was looking at his phone or napping or whatever, was his reaction to like we've all had that moment where like you're dozing off in a work meeting or something, and you're like that, like, oh, I'm on camera. So obviously low hanging fruit for the big Twitter outlets to get some laughs in at the Jets. But hey, man, at least he's there.
He's there, and I'll tell you what. I was at the combine. It's kind of boring, man. Like guys are running in a straight line. I'm going to defend Aaron Glenn's right to doze off. I'm sure he's working hard this week.
Yeah, well, even the announcers talk like they're announcing golf, right? It's like
they're doing like a podcast too. Like they show like a different football person, then they do like a 5-minute spiel on like whatever's going on with that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big it's such a money grab, but we eat it up. We love it.
There's nothing like it. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The Buffalo Jet fan hanging out with us here. Let's get your take now on the trade this week. The first big trade of the offseason involved the Jets and Robert Saleh and his Titans. So Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee. Jets get back a big fatty, to quote our guy Neil. Defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat. Your thoughts on the deal?
Well, I think the Jets were kind of in a rock and a hard place with Jermaine because it was the last year of his contract. I don't think it's not because Jermaine was a scheme fit or they didn't like Jermaine. I mean, I think that if he had one more year on his rookie deal and then a 5th-year option like McDonald, they might have kind of held and see how he returns to form the second year after the Achilles. But it's like, if he comes back and crushes it, do you re-sign him? Like we saw Carl Lawson, the Achilles kind of derail his whole career. So they cut bait. And I think a big motivating factor was his 5th-year option was like, 13, 14 million bucks. So you shave $11, $12 million off your cap and you get T'Vondre Sweat, who's really, really good. I mean, he came in and he like single-handedly changed the Tennessee Titans run front. Now, obviously the Titans weren't very good, so it didn't yield a lot of wins, but people were mocking players of this ilk. Like I saw some Caden McDonald at like 16. It's like, okay, if you can get that skill set for Jermaine, who probably has a third or fourth round value in a vacuum. And now you just cross that off your list where you're probably not, if you're taking a defensive tackle, you're probably trying to get like another 3-tech or a 5-tech. So that's off your list of needs. And Sweat, I think he's not a paperweight as a pass rusher. Like he's got some juice to him where, you know, if you want to leave him one-on-one with a guard, he can punish you. So I like the player a lot. I mean, he came in and he was as billed, like a phenomenal run defender. Obviously, if they're going to be in more of a 3-4 front, you need that true prototypical nose. And that's who he is. So if you can guarantee that on a rookie contract of a proven player, then you do that over drafting a top 40 pick on one. So I like it.
He's got more pass rush juice than I think people will give him credit for. It's always tough with that position because like they don't get a lot of stats. So you got to really watch them. And I think he fits what the Jets desperately need. And it does also lend down credence to the fact that this team is going to clearly be way more 3-4 principled up front.
Yeah, it seems like they're going that way. And that's why I think that the Bailey and Reese conversation, and even Will McDonald, I think it would be more conducive to his skill set and mitigate his limitations. I'm excited to see what Carl Dunbar can do with Will, because remember in his second season, he did get 11 sacks and 62 pressures. And then last year, it's like, well, Quincy Williams, a former All-Pro, all of a sudden can't play football. Jamie Sherwood, who had a market from other teams, is unplayable. Like Sauce, worst year of his career. Quinnen, worst pass rush production. It's like, it's almost like the unit was really poorly coached. So I'm going to assume we're going to get a bump with Dunbar and Bowling coming in from Wilkes and the guys that he had. And obviously, if you're in a normal team where there's not a linebacker wide open off the same play action play that every offensive coordinator ran against us for 17 weeks, like I think Will McDonald is a player whose stock I'm definitely holding. I've given up that he's ever going to be a good run defender, but I still think he could be a guy who can get you 12 plus sacks, 60 plus pressures and be very valuable for you.
It sounds like you're talking about coaching, man. It's just coaching.
Yeah. Coaching. It's coaching. What do you mean? Because he can do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
It's coaching, man. That's all the Jets need.
Yeah, I didn't think at that point the season Aaron Glenn anticipated that Wojak Horseman would be playing in his secondary and all that. So kind of got off the rails pretty quickly. And yeah, we'll see. It's one of those tough things where the team is so bad you feel like you have no players. But Will McDonald and AD Mitchell are two guys I'm pretty excited to see this year.
Friend of the show, AD Mitchell as well. So we're rooting for AD on this program. There's no doubt about that. Comments, questions, your super chats. We'll cut the line. We're talking with the Buffalo Jet fan. If you guys want to know anything about the draft, anything Jet related, now's the time to write it in. BJF, you've been doing a ton of breakdowns of some prospects. I know you've been putting your big board out on your X account, which has been a good read. Give us a feel for pick 33, pick 44. We've spent so much time talking about the options at 2 and 16. But as we start to talk about the day 2 options for the Jets, what would you do in an ideal scenario?
So, okay, if I'm the Jets, so I think it depends on what they do at 2 and 16. So let's assume that they get one of these, a Reese or a Bailey at 2, and then maybe they end up with a wide receiver, Omar Cooper Jr., or even a Denzel Boston, something like that, maybe even Casey Conception at 16. I think game wrecker on defense, pass catcher on offense would be nice. Then I'm probably going to go back and want to get 2 more, assuming we sign they re-sign AVT and I don't need a guard. I probably want 2 more defensive starters on day 2. And I really like some of the defensive line options on day 2, and then some of the safety and linebacker class too. So whether it's a CJ Allen or Josiah Trotter there at your middle linebacker, you need one of those to pair with Jamie and Sherwood. Even if you sign Alexander alone as a stopgap, that shouldn't prevent you. And then guys like Christian Miller, who he's really a perfect 5-tech who could play on the opposite side of Briggs with T'Vondre Sweat in the middle. I just love your run fit there. He's a player from Georgia that I really like. Even a player like Peter Woods, if he does now, I don't think you take Woods at 16 to be a 5-tech, but if he falls to 33, the pass rush juice that him and Briggs could give you on the opposite of Sweat would be really, really enticing. And then if they just want to get bigger on their front, like if they view McDonald as a specialist and they want somebody who's a little bit bigger who can play some edge, I think there are guys like Gabe Yakus from Illinois or Zion Young from Mizzou, like those big 265-pound edge setting players. So I think game wrecker on defense, epic 2, get yourself a plug and play, 1B receiver to Garrett Wilson at 16, and then go ahead and get 2 starters on your back 7 in the second round. I mean, there's lots. If one of those safeties falls, I don't think Dynaman or McNeil Warren are going to make out of the first round at this point. But a player like, I think some of the best value, honestly, is guys like Pons and Keontae Scott from Miami, like a pick 44. If you can get a plug and play slot defender who's going to play 70% of your snaps and be really good for you, I don't know if Brownlee's consistency and injuries are going to prevent me from making that investment. And you remember how much this defense fell off when Michael Carter became unplayable. So, yeah, man, lot of options to get 2 back 7 defenders on day 2 after you get your game record and your pass catcher on day 1.
If Pons is there at 44 and Aaron Glenn still has the juice,
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah,
he's going to be a Jet.
Yeah, he's going to slam the table for him. Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to Tyler who's watching on Twitter. He says, love the shirt, Jake. Thank you. Appreciate that, Tyler. Let's go Jets. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Buffalo Jet fan hanging out with us here. What's your take on the free agency approach? A couple of weeks out from that. We know Breece Hall is going to be franchise tagged. Now, I thought it'd be the true franchise tag around $14 million. Talking with some people leaving the combine, I'm actually more convinced it's going to be the transition tag now than the franchise tag, because I think the Jets will look at it like Breece is probably not going to be happy with either tag, but at least with the transition tag, it gives Breece an opportunity to see what his market is and not be wondering, hey, what could have been? Because I think Breece wants to go to a team that gives him a better chance to win or just be paid. So at least with the transition tag, it gives him a chance to at least see what his market would be, and then the Jets can match. It allows the other team to do the hard work for the Jets. So I think it's actually going to be the transition tag now. That was my takeaway leaving the combine from talking with folks. Your thoughts on Breece and then just the direction at free agency this offseason?
Yeah, I think one of those tags is fine. And I think if they weren't willing to do that, they would have traded him at the deadline, right? You would have taken the 4th round pick. So I think they obviously were forward thinking, like, hey man, if we don't get our price, he's going to be here regardless. Moogs kind of said that. So yeah, you give him you slap the 11 million and you give him at least like some, like you said, like some, he's not being trapped here, right? Because you could shop around a little bit. So yeah, you do that because why open up more holes? You're going to have close to 100 million in cap space once you cut Justin Fields. So $10 million out of 300 million for a good, not great running back, I think is fine. And then I think within the first few days of free agency, I think they're going to make a big investment at safety. I think it's a spot where you can get a quality starter who's 26 years old on a 3-year deal and just get it done. You like Jaquan Brisker from Chicago. I think guys like Colby Bryant is a better fit as more of a true like guy who can play post safety and be the last line of defense. You got Cam Curl who's played slot, strong safety, free safety from the Rams, and they already pay one of their safeties. So is he going to squeak free? I know my guy Dom C is saying that a Minkah Fitzpatrick trade could be in the works. So I think they're going to get a big investment right off rip of like, here's a starting safety, and then that'll probably tamper down any sort of Caleb Downs discourse at number 2.
Cam Curl, Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Thompson, Kobe Bryant. One of those guys needs to be a Jet, if not 2. Yeah. You could sign 2 safeties, and that'd be cool with that.
I honestly, Jake, I would be totally fine if they said, you know what, we're going to sign Cam Curl and Jalen Thompson, who's like more of a mid-tier guy, and then Malachi Moore is our 3rd safety sub-package player, and then we're done with safety. Like, it kind of would give you peace of mind just to start finishing some rooms. You know what I mean? I would like sign another tight end. And it's like, you know what, safety, tight end, running back, we're not spending any draft capital there.
Hey, speaking of tight ends, just because I have the combine on right now and they're replaying the tight end workouts yesterday, Kenyon Sadiq, if he's there at 16, would the Jets take him?
I think they could, because I think they could view him as their best pass catcher left on their board. And I would say this, I think one of the most underrated parts about last season in a positive sense for the draft class, I came away really impressed with Mason Taylor's inline blocking. I thought for a 21-year-old tight end who was asked to play a lot of slot, basically glorified slot receiver at LSU, he came in pretty like ready to block, to where you could have Sadiq kind of play the role that Bowers plays for the Raiders, where they had their inside guy, and then Bowers is essentially kind of like a big slot receiver, that where Sadiq comes in, and now it's like, oh, you want to play light and play nickel? We can use him as a move blocker, where Sadiq is a really good blocker on the move. Or if you want to play heavy, he's going to cook your linebackers. So yeah, I think Sadiq is definitely, I'm open to it. And I think Mason Taylor's inline blocking kind of opened that window for sure. Like they could view him as a top 20 player. And I would personally like him over like the Denzel Bostons of the world in terms of a pass catcher if some of those top receivers are gone.
I think that's a good take by you. And you know what I wonder too, if the Jets like now view their offense, and if I guess it really depends on the quarterback, but like what style of offense is Frank Reich going to call? We know, oh, he loves the tall quarterback, but like, does that mean they're going to heavily feature the tight ends? Like, what if their plan is, again, to be very run dominant and feature the tight ends, use a lot of play action? And then, while I think Jeremy Ruckert improved this past year, he's, to me, tight end 3. If you added another legitimate tight end to your team, like, he might be a star. Like, you look at his measurables, like, we're talking about like one of the premier athletes you could draft over the last 10 years in the league.
Yeah, he put on like some Vernon Davis level athleticism for sure. Who never quite lived up to the hype, was a good player in his own right. Yeah, I think that's a totally fair. It's on the table. I would say it's on the table. I mean,
last year they took a corner in the 3rd round, which to me screamed that was just clear best player available. Like if Sadiq's the top tight end on their board, remember Glenn comes from the Lions where they took Jahmyr Gibbs, which was thought to be, an outlier pick to take a running back that high, and it worked out for them. They took Campbell a lot higher than people thought he'd go. So like Glenn has seen like the non-premium position earlier than expected workout in teams he's been on.
Wouldn't it be funny after like doing the Bowers and Warren debates if we finally take a 1st-round tight end at a Kenyon Sadiq, although we finally have our offensive tackles. So there you go. But the reason why I'd be fine with it, and why I'm keeping more of an open mind this draft is, to me, Jake, I view the next 2 off seasons almost as one giant off season. Because if we're not taking a quarterback, then okay, like if they are dead set on Ty Simpson, then you want to make sure you have that guard in place, you have that wide receiver 2 in place. But people freak out, like it's like, oh, you're drafting too much defense, like we need another wide receiver. And it's like, dude, okay, but that same person faints like a goat if you say take Ty Simpson. So it's like, okay, you don't want a rookie quarterback. Why do I care if Marcus Mariota's wide receiver 2 is AD Mitchell for a year? Why do I care? It doesn't really matter. Just take the talent, as much talent as you can as it comes to you. And if you're drafting a quarterback high next year, then with that last 1st-round pick, you can get your receiver. Like, so it's all like we got 5 1st-round picks and 3 2nd-round picks. It's all the same to me. You're not chasing a Super Bowl this year. And if you're not ensuring that you have this stuff right now for a rookie quarterback, then take the talent as it comes to you. It's kind of a way to just, there's no stress there. Like the Jets can be as BPA as any team in the league.
All right, let's get you out of here with this. What's the approach to the quarterback spot in free agency or the trade market as well?
So I think that the Kirk Cousins, I think, will be an option because like there's not that many spots where you're going to say, hey, Kirk Cousins, come on down and be our surefire starting quarterback. There's not that many places, and the places that are, like even like the Browns, like they have no offensive line starters. I think him, and then you're looking at Brissett. I don't know if the Cardinals would want to trade him, but maybe they would do the veteran a solid for a spot that he has to actually start because Brissett's played for Reich. Beyond that, I gotta say I'm not a huge fan of the trading of the mid-round picks for the McKees, the Davis Mills, the Mac Jones of the world, because I think at the end of the day, a stopgap is a stopgap. And how much are they changing your life more than a Marcus Mariota? Like you're talking about one more win, and it would need a high pick. Like if I'm one of those teams, I want your 4th-round pick. Do I want to give away another 4th-round pick when we don't have a 3rd-round pick? For a player who's going to be here for 1 year and not change. It's easy to say as a fan because for them, they're like, we saw how it went with Fields. We want to make sure we have something better than that. But I just think at the end of the day, like Tanner McKee is a complete psyop to me. Like he's a complete fabrication. Like I don't know where the hype is coming from. I like trading a high pick for McKee. I don't see it. And like Davis Mills, is he going to win you more games than Mitch Trubisky?
He's not being traded, by the way. I spoke with people in the know. Davis Mills is going nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have him last year, they might have missed the playoffs. Like they would have kept their season alive. Yep. So I think it's going to be like you're really going to have to blow those teams out of the water to give up their backup quarterbacks, because the Niners and the Texans would have been home in January if they didn't have those guys.
So I had Connor Rodgers on. I had Chris Sims on. Both of them said the Jets should try and sign Malik Willis. Do you think, 1, they'll pursue him, and 2, would Malik Willis choose the Jets over other options?
Well, I do think like the Jets, I will say the Jets, like having 2 good offensive tackles and a wide receiver 1 clears a threshold that a lot of the other teams who need a quarterback don't have. Like a lot of other teams who need a quarterback are kind of a mess. So I think Malik Willis would be open to it. Jake, I don't think they're going to make a quote unquote splash investment. I don't think they're going to be in the Malik Willis or Kyler Murray business. I think we're more talking the Kirk Cousins of the world. And it's kind of insane, man. It's like one game, I get it. He's got really good tools. I liked him coming out of the draft. I do think he's a better thrower than Fields if people want to make that comparison. But he's probably going to get multiple years guaranteed, like close to $30 million at that point, like just take Ty Simpson. Like if it's that's how is that any less crazy to take Ty Simpson on a rookie deal than go ahead and peel off a ton of money for Malik Willis? It is kind of insane, but someone's going to do it, and it might work out for them. And I just think that looking at Malik Willis's like statistical profile from last year, he cooked, but his best game was against the Ravens, who you think they're a decent team, but they had an anemic pass rush, and his time to throw of 3.3 seconds, that's not sustainable. So what happens when that clock is sped up to 2.75 seconds? Like that's just a question we don't have answered. You're literally you're signing him because he had that one game. If he did not start that game, this hype would not be there. It's one game that this is happening for. Personally, I think it's kind of insane.
Well, if you think about it, BJF, the team that signs Malik Willis then is not in on Ty Simpson anymore. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, like let's say Ty Simpson will be there for the Jets because Miami at 11 is no longer in play for him because they signed Malik Willis. Arizona, right. If they sign Malik Willis, not that they take Ty at 3, but that's one less team you got to worry about maybe trading back into round 1 for him. So like there is a scenario where the Jet fans, and myself included, who don't want Ty at 16, maybe just based on how the NFL offseason goes, maybe Ty would be there at pick 33 for the Jets.
Yeah, I think that like if the Browns, I think the Browns might be just seeing like they're in a spot where it's like, okay, either Shadur pops and we have our quarterback, or it looks like he did last year, and then we have a number 1 pick next year, right? And I think Monken, it being his first year, they're more apt to do that, where you can kind of take one on the teeth year 1. And then the Rams, they might be in a spot where, hey, man, we got 2 first-round picks, and we want to bring in 2 immediate impact players to try and stuff one more Lombardi in the case before Matt Stafford retires, like those teams with the 2 first-round picks. So I definitely think he could slide. And, yeah, you're right, the dominoes, like whoever signs him, it's one more team off the table. Arizona or Miami probably. I think there's a chance he could be there at 33. His range probably starts at 13. And then I think his floor would be the Jets. I do think if he's there at 33, they probably take him at that point.
I mean, you just look at it. Arizona needs a quarterback. Cleveland needs a quarterback. You go down here. This is just the first 18 picks I have up on the screen. People talk about the Rams at 13. Based on what I know, I don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe their second first-round pick, which I think is 29. If you look at it, maybe that's in play for Simpson potentially. There's not a whole lot of landing spots if Willis, let's say, goes to Miami or Arizona and takes them out of the mix. I think Cleveland, to your point, is kind of in a let's give our quarterbacks we have a chance this year, and then Monken's not going to get fired after a year. They'll do a reset and get their guy next year. So I think you're spot on with that. Like you could start to make the case that Ty Simpson, maybe if he doesn't go to Pittsburgh at 21, could actually make it to 33.
Yeah, it's one of these things where, you know, he could, and we'll never know, but it's like he could be taken at 13, but then none of the other teams would have taken him until 33. So it's so hard to guess these things because it only takes one GM. You know, it's hard to guess, but you could see the vision. It's
100%.
You know, not a lot of hot takes on Ty Simpson. Everyone seems to have very unpassionate opinions about him in the chat, like middle of the road takes here.
Jets, Jets.
He knows how to pander. I mean, that's important.
Oh man, yeah. I just hope that there's no buzz for him at 2 because I think that would be pretty wild.
Unreal. All right, BJF. I appreciate you hopping on. One final question for you though. As Maniac Madness, who do you believe will cut down the nets in our second annual As Maniac Madness?
I need some options. Like who's in there?
Kyle Clifton, Beastbreaker, Chuck Wagon, the defending champion, Mr. Bonesy. You got Black Gypsy. You going Beast?
I'll go with him. I got to be honest. Like I listen to your monologues, and I don't really make it to the.
I can't imagine why.
That good. Yeah, I'll go with him.
BJF, you're the man. I appreciate you hopping on as always, my friend.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, guys. Go Jets.
Buffalo Jet fan, check him out. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We are doing the raffle at the end of the show. I got 3 prizes that I'm going to give away. I will try and send them out today if I can get over to UPS today. Joe Namath, signed helmet. Darrelle Revis, signed helmet. And a Garrett Wilson, signed football. Those are the raffle prizes. As of now, no one has entered during the show, so I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm gifting a membership right now, and I will put whoever gets the membership in the raffle coming up at the end of our show. So 1 gifted membership from yours truly officially has been fired away. and listener. Let's see who got it. Jethawk 5150 has received the membership.
Hey, Ty, what was the Jet meeting like for you?
It was cool. It was really cool. I got to talk to Frank Wright and Coach Glenn and those guys. We just got to work ball, and they're the best. So if I had the opportunity to play for them, it would be awesome.
There's a ton of Jet fans who are huge fans of yours. What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
I mean, he knows how to pander. You could sell yourself on Ty easily. You could explain away his poor performance or production drop at the end of the year on he was hurt. He's over 210 pounds now. He was 190 something at the end of the college football season. Again, I wouldn't take him at 16 because of just the overwhelming history of guys with that few starts going in round one. But if he's there at 33, I'm okay with it. It would at least give us something to watch this year if the Jets start the year off poorly. Like, it'd be like they're going to make the switch to Ty. What happens now? When do they, how does he look? And it would give us at least something to watch down the stretch that's not Brady Cook. But we'll see. We got a long way to go. He does throw today, and we'll see. Black Gypsy in the raffle for one. Let's go, Black Gypsy.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Ay, 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 ay.
Matt L. is the recipient of the channel membership. Thank you very much to Black Gypsy. All right, going to get to your calls coming up. All right, I want to remind everyone that we're hosting a draft party for the first ever time in the city where the draft is. We're headed to Pittsburgh for a gangrene takeover at McFadden's. Let's go.
Draft Day 2026 live from Pittsburgh. Jets Nation on the clock. Gangrene takeover at McFadden's. Day and night draft party hosted by the Jay Gasner Show. Thursday, April 23rd, doors open at noon. Let's go! Yeah!
Free event. We'll have an RSVP link starting next week when I put that together now that I'm back from the combine. But this is going to be incredible. We know the Jets are going to dominate the draft conversation, and we're going to have a blast. Get there early. Doors open at noon. There'll be drink specials throughout the day. We're going to take over the city of Pittsburgh. There's going to be so many Jet fans that are going to be making the trip. It's drivable if you're in the Northeast. So I'm looking forward to being there. Pittsburgh's a great city, and we're going to have a blast. We'll do the show during the day live from McFadden's, and then after the Jets make their picks, since it's right next to the draft, I'm going to hustle back to McFadden's for the live post-game or post-draft, post-night one live show. So I'm very excited about all of that. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to your calls now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. And first up today is a man who could go far in this year's Asmaniac Madness tournament.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
I got a random McFadden's. There used to be a McFadden's like in the Turtle Bay area. So it was 2nd Avenue. Is this related to that place, or is it just the same name?
Same owner and same place. And I believe that this is, I believe that McFadden's in Queens still exists.
Okay. All right. That's wild. Okay. So it is related. Are they still open? I mean, I haven't been there since like I was in my 20s. Are they still open?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Shout out Jake. Good job on that. So I had a couple of things. First, Kenyon Sadiq. I know he killed it in the combine, but is he really projected to go that high in the draft, like the top 16 picks? Is that like for real?
By the way, the Turtle Bay one closed according to Common Country.
Oh, I mean, it may have been close 15.
Sadiq's the first tight end drafted, and he might go in the top 20 now.
Oh, wow. Because I mean, he wasn't like, if you look at his stats in college at Oregon, he really wasn't that great. Like, they're okay. The Eli Stowers and then the other tight end from Ohio State, the big dude, Claire, is that his name? Max Claire? Is he really that one? Because those guys are like 2nd or 3rd rounders. Is he that much better than those guys?
Other than based on the testing, he might be.
Okay. I wasn't really expecting any tight end to go in the first round. Now they're saying, yeah, top half of the first round. All right. I would probably pass on that. Another guy would probably pass on at 16 is Ty Simpson. I'd probably pass on him.
I would too. But he's making it a real conversation if he performs well today, and he's gonna interview well. I already know the Jets and him had a great meeting, which you would expect. He's smart. He's a son of a coach. Like the X's and O's part of the game, he's gonna excel at.
When did he's gonna be smart. He was born and bred to do this, son of a coach. He's gonna interview well, obviously. And he's probably a high football IQ kind of guy. He's son of a coach, right? Where does Arizona pick? Because I think Arizona is gonna take him.
Arizona picks at 3.
I think Arizona's gonna take him. I do. The draft's not that strong. Arizona's
pick 34. They have 2. They can move back into round 1.
They might do that. 3 is early for him, but I don't think you're leaving a ton on the board this year. So they may. I have an inkling he's going to Arizona. So I don't think he's going to make it to 16, and I don't think Arizona can trade back into the top 16 unless they really sold out. So I think he may go 3. I really do. I've been saying I think he's going to go top 10 or 11 to Miami. I think if Arizona can't trade down to 6 or 7, they'll just take him at 3.
I don't think they're going to take him at 3.
It's not a strong draft. If you believe in him, if you think he's good, you're not really leaving much on. I'm not trying to downplay these other guys.
Last year with the Giants, though. Oh, they love Dart. They'll just take him. And no, they took a Carter because you're not going to sacrifice that level of prospect.
And I like Dart, but I thought Dart was risky. He was coming from a gimmicky system, right? I like Dart, but I was like, where did the Giants pick last year? 3 or 2? 3. That was way too high for Dart. Honestly, if Aller would have went in last year's draft, the Giants probably would have took Aller. And how he was projected to be that next quarterback off the board.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Breaking news from one of our listeners. No Jameth says, "Holy bleep! I usually listen on Spotify, and this is my first time tuning in on YouTube. I always thought Gary was like a 23-year-old kid living with his parents."
No, I am not. I am not.
This is frightening, says No Jameth. Well, No Jameth, welcome to the YouTube version of the show, which existed before the Spotify version, which is just the audio version of the YouTube show. But I appreciate you being tuned in. That's awesome.
I'm 42, married with 3 kids. I mean, you're not listening that much. You're not paying that close attention. A 23-year-old that lived with my parents. I didn't live with my parents when I was 23 either. This is way out of line. This is way out of line.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
What is that? I know Roger said that. What is that in reference to? It's a weird thing to say. What is that in reference to?
Well, I mean, you said you had 3 kids.
Yes. Yeah. No. When Roger said it, what was it in reference to?
Same thing. They were talking about children.
Oh, okay. That is how you make children, Jake. That is how you make children.
Not according to Charles Gorman. He was acquired via the stork.
I wouldn't take Charles Gorman's advice on anything, really. Just to put that out there. I wouldn't start listening to Charles Gorman. The other thing, this was an omen yesterday. So I'm in an Uber last night coming home. And my Uber driver's like, "Do you mind if I make this phone call?" I was like, "Go ahead." And he's talking about high school football. You know where he went to high school?
Where's that?
Dallas Skyline. You know who Dallas Skyline lost to in the regionals?
No.
He's class of 2014. Allen, Kyler Murray. He kept talking about it was the greatest thing they'd ever. It was that Allen. He was at Skyline when they played Allen in the greatest game. And Kyler Murray had the greatest game ever.
So you're still on this Kyler Murray stuff?
Yeah, we got to get back on it. Ty Simpson's going to be gone. We're not going to be able to draft Ty Simpson at 16. We need a quarterback. I think
he's there at 16. I don't think Ty goes in the top 15 picks. I think Willis goes to Arizona. I don't think Miami is going to take Ty at 11. And I think the Rams are not going to take him at 13.
I don't think he goes past 11. Miami will. What is Miami going to do at quarterback? Quinn Ewers? Come on.
They're going to sign someone.
A new coach coming in and going to sign a retread? Maybe.
Miami is all in on the Arch Manning year.
Shouldn't we be all in on that? And
I think the Jets will be all in on that because I don't think they're going to necessarily take Simpson at 16. And even if they did, that wouldn't, I don't think, stop them from still being in position for a quarterback a year from now.
Let me address it is and it isn't, right? If you draft him at 16 or even 33, if you take him at 33, you're kind of giving him the keys to be your quarterback. And then are you going to give up on that after 1 year? You're telling him I believe in him by drafting him that high, 16 or even 33. You're saying I trust you to run with this. And then after 1 year, you're moving on. I mean, it got to be a Zach Wilson type bad year. If he goes in and he's okay, don't you got to run it back with him? If he goes in there and he's adequate and he's like, all right, he has like a Davis Mills rookie year. It's like, it's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not Zach Wilson. It's not Josh Rosen. If he goes out and he's okay, don't you got to give him a second year? If you give him a second year, now you're not drafting a quarterback next year.
Well, how much does he actually play? That's the question.
We don't have another quarterback. So if we draft the quarterback at 16 or
right,
33,
but they're not just going to go Ty Simpson and then not have a quarterback. The free agency is before the draft. They're going to have to prepare to be able to field a roster with a starting quarterback on it before the draft.
You would think so. We trust Muji a little bit, right? I mean, I think he's at least earned that he won't be lazy and do nothing. Like even whatever you think of his decisions, he's making executive decisions. So we trust Muji to go get whether or not we like that quarterback or not is irrelevant. He will go get a starting caliber quarterback.
He will do something.
I think so too. We're not going to be in a position where it's Fields. I mean, Fields is still on the roster, right? He hasn't been cut yet. He doesn't get cut till June 1st.
But they could designate him as a June 1st cut. That doesn't mean that Justin Fields will actually still be on the team by the time we get to June 1st.
There's no chance he's on this team next year, right?
No.
For 100%?
Nothing's 100%. I'd be shocked.
99%? 98%?
Yeah. 99.
99%. All right. Then to me, like, let's get back on the Kyler Murray bandwagon. It's Kyler Murray. It's not Simpson. I saw this article yesterday that the Jets are going to bring Carr out. Like, it can't be Carr. I can live.
It could be Carr. It could be Carr and another younger quarterback.
First of all, Derek Carr has never been better than Kyler Murray ever. So why would we? He's older. He's injured. Why would we even entertain Derek?
He's
Carr?
34, and
he's older than Murray. He's old. I'm saying he's older than Murray. Not that he's old.
But he's younger than Cousins, who's 38.
Yeah, but Cousins is way better than him. So, like, no matter how you rank it, Derek Carr, if you want the
they're both injury prone, and Kyler Murray's 5'10".
So it's the height. It's like, okay, it's the height. So Derek Carr's 6'3", so
durability.
All right, but
again,
you can't say durability.
I'm not going to sit there and say you're crazy for saying Murray's better than Carr. But they're both not great options. Like, you act like Kyler Murray would be this great option for the Jets. He's not.
It'd be the best quarterback they've had. Other than 3 plays from Aaron Rodgers, 4 plays, it'd be the best quarterback we've had since Chad Pennington. That's 20 years ago. Like, quarterback is no longer an issue. Okay, but it's what we can do, right? Quarterback, if you have Kyler Murray, quarterback is no longer an issue. I'm not saying it's a strength. It's no longer a problem. It's not Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. And like, we have a real quarterback who you can go out there and feel comfortable with. Is he better than Jaden Daniels? No. Is he better than Drake May? No. Is he better than Josh Allen? Of course not. But you have an adequate quarterback that can go out and win games. You're adequate at the position.
You could say the same thing. You could say the same thing about Carr.
No, you can't.
You can.
You can say that about Cousins, but Cousins is 40. So it's like, he's only going to be there 1 year. Kyler Murray could be there for 5 years. Could.
Derek Carr went 9-8 the last season he played a full year. That was in 2023. He started 17 games, 68% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. In 2024, he was 5-5 as a starter, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, completion percentage at 67.7. He got hurt. He only appeared in 10 games that year.
When Derek Carr was an option in 2022, 2023, when we got Rodgers, when it was like Rodgers or Carr, 2023, before the injury, 3 years ago, before the injury, we were like, no car, not even once, not even the tip,
No,
not even
I
for
don't
a
think it was
second.
no car. It was we all wanted Rodgers. Rodgers offered the highest upside.
And he was 40. And you're saying 40-year-old Rodgers
Yeah, but you can't
more
compare
upside than
right.
a prime Derek Carr.
You can't compare the two situations. Aaron Rodgers might have been 40, but he was a year removed from being a back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, I remember it was a no-brainer to me because the other option was Carr. I didn't love
Or Jimmy G was the other option.
Yeah, it was just no
because of
right,
Salah's
so
ties to the
Rodgers.
Niners. Yeah,
it's Rodgers then. It's Rodgers, right? It's Rodgers because Carr sucks and Jimmy G's a backup. That's why. I know Jimmy G went to Super Bowl. I got it. Okay, Jimmy G is a backup. So it was obvious, but that's my point about Carr. Is like he was never good enough, right? It's like the girl with you only look at him when every other girl tells you no. It's like, all right, well maybe I'll talk to this girl because I got shot down 10 times. Like that's Derek Carr. It's like it's not the worst thing in the world, but like
you
I
can
don't
say
really
the same
want
thing about
that.
Kyler Murray though.
Kyler Murray is the greatest high school Texas football player ever. He's a Heisman winner, the first overall pick in the draft. Like Derek Carr was a second-round pick that went to Fresno State. Like he's
I don't care about what Kyler Murray did in high school. He got benched this year for Jacoby Brissett. They didn't go back to him when he was healthy. They put a clause in his contract when he signed his extension that he had to study tape. You could sell me on Kyler Murray if he cost nothing, if he's released. But you act like Kyler Murray is like this far superior option. He's not. There's no great option out there. Comments, questions, super chats. Our first super chat, man with a rake. Thank you. With a lousy pass defense, why do the Jets refuse to address safety? Take a safety early. Well, there's a conversation around how early. You're not going to do it at 2, even though I know there's people who want the Jets to take Caleb Downs. They will address safety. They have not addressed it in far too long. And it's a very good safety draft and safety free agent class. The Jets on day one of free agency need to come away with Kevin Byard, Cam Curl, Jalen Hawkins, Jalen Thompson, Kobe Bryant, Nick Scott, the other Bears safety, Jaquan Brisker, who I wanted the Jets to draft a couple of years ago. They're going to address the position. They have to. And it's a good safety draft, too. Obviously, there's downs. But you know, AJ Halsey, Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. I was talking to some guys who cover Toledo about Emmanuel McNeil Warren at the Combine. He's another name to watch. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Peg and Artie are on the line. Hello, Peg and Artie.
Hey, Artie Costello here with Peg. Just checking in. How's everybody doing?
I love it. I love it. What's up, Artie? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm back to normal, Jake. It's not even a thing anymore. I mean, you know, whatever they put in me did its trick. I mean, I got so much more energy. This shit must have been going on for a long time. I didn't even know it, but
wow,
I'm good.
That's great news.
Good. It's over. I'm ready for the madness. Can't wait to watch it. Me and Peg are ready for action. But she had a question I couldn't answer, and I didn't want to Google it. I figured I was calling in, so maybe you could give some insight.
Here's my question, Jake.
Yes, Peg.
In the Combine, how are the guys chosen? Are they the top 60, what would be considered round 1, round 2 in the draft, or are they scattered?
Great question. They're chosen by the league. The NFL has people that are employed to basically go through what they believe are the top prospects, and they get it. You got to be invited to the Combine. So it's more than the top 60. I don't know the exact number, though. I could try and look that up. But they have, basically how teams have scouts. The NFL has people that also are evaluating the top prospects, and they determine who to invite.
Huh. Okay, well, thank you. And for the first time, I think I agree with Gary. I wouldn't take any of Charles Gorman's advice either. So there is something that Gary and I do agree on.
But Jake, I got to correct you on one thing. It's not about the stork. Remember, Charles' mom and dad made love twice, and that's how they have Chuck and his brother.
Tough to argue with the logic you're using there, Artie.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good day, guys. We're going to get our day going. Great job all week, Jake. We love it. The combine today, we got to watch our guys and see some future Jets. Hopefully are on the field today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peg and Artie, yes.
Yes. All right, let's go.
Shout out to the Dream, who sent me an email a week after he won his raffle prize that he wants a Nick Mangold jersey, by the way. So, Dream, I got your email. I'll make sure we order it for you this weekend. Going to get to more of your calls. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in here. We're presented today by my friends over at Cheers. If you're going to be drinking, you're going to want to incorporate Cheers into your life. Cheers Restore is going to help your brain and your liver. It's going to help you with dehydration problems. It's super easy. What you do is you take a couple of these tablets from Cheers and you put it in your last drink or right before you go to bed. Then you just take it like it's any other pill that you would take, and it will help you feel 50% better the next morning, or Cheers will give you your money back. You've seen them on Shark Tank. They're sold in over 30,000 stores, CVS, Walgreens, 7-Eleven. They've sold over 50 million doses, thousands of top reviews. It's also backed by doctors, so you know this stuff is legit. Again, Cheers Restore. Alcohol, it impacts your brain, your liver, makes you feel like crap. This is your way to combat some of that. So check it out. I got a promo code as well to make this super easy for you. 20% off your entire order at cheershealth.com when you use my promo code Asman. So for those of you who are going out and about this weekend, I'm telling you, you're going to want to get some Cheers in your life. Cheershealth.com, promo code Asman at checkout for 20% off. Edutami says, poor Jake sounds and looks like he needs sleep. We are very sleep deprived. There's no doubt. The combine is a great week, but there are some long days. But I think the content was worth it, so I'm thrilled with how it went. You know, not everyone gets the broadcast from the Jake Asman Show Pavilion.
You see who's doing shows from the combine?
Jake Asman.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he sends himself, though.
Yeah, but the Asman is like, it's like you walk into the combine and you have to walk by the Jake Asman Pavilion.
Right. Funny story about that video. My aunt thought that was real. She didn't understand that it was AI. Imagine thinking that's what it looked like when we were interviewing Rich Eisen. Unreal. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is none other than the Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
One sec. Technology. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you. Sorry about that, Jake. Must have pressed something on my headset and just screwed everything up. Nice to see you back home safe and sound. Holy crap. $300. Thank you, Jets Forever, again, for the third or fourth week in a row. That's awesome. So, Jake, I have to ask, who was your favorite interview with?
Good job.
What the hell? This is embarrassing. One sec.
Ah, where'd it go? We've never seen a man react like this to $300 on the screen. Chuck Wagon, come on. Look at this. On the day of the raffle, this man just sent in a $300 super chat. Shout out to Jets Forever, number 2. Great content this week, Jake. Florio and Sims, let's go Chuck Wagon. We've never seen a bigger Chuck Wagon supporter than Jets Forever, number 2. Where's the energy, Chuck? Thank this man.
I thanked him. I did thank him. I hope you guys were able to hear me. Sorry with the malfunction with my headset, but
60 raffle tickets.
Can you hear me?
and I can hear you. Yes. Who was your favorite interview during the combine week?
I thought the Chris Sims interview was amazing. I really enjoyed that one. I recommend everyone watch it. I posted it on the channel yesterday. I thought he was great. Obviously, Connor's always great, Connor Rogers, but he's been on the show a lot. So as far as a first-time guest we had on, I thought he was tremendous for those who saw it. Honestly, I thought all the interviews went really well, but the Chris Sims one I thought was great, and you got a lot out of that if you're a Jet fan.
That's awesome. Was there some place you didn't go to that you wish you did?
Is there some place
like a restaurant or a nightclub? Was there something you just couldn't get to and you wish you had?
It's tough to get to every good restaurant because you just don't have enough time. So I didn't get to go to Harry and Izzy's this year for dinner. We did St. Elmo's, I did the Dean, but I usually like to go to Harry and Izzy's, and I didn't get the chance to this year. So that's the only one.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for all the content you made. I'm glad to see that you're safe and sound back at home. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Now, let me ask you something, Chuck Wagon.
Go ahead.
Do you know who Jets Forever number 2 is?
He's from England.
Have you guys met in a prior life? Why do you think he's taken such a liking to you? We've never seen anything like this.
I have no clue, but the English are very polite, so I'm sure that's why he's doing it.
This is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. That's insane, but I'm sure that 300 goes towards the cost of Wi-Fi that you had to purchase while in Indianapolis.
I got some good news for you, Chuck Wagon.
It was free?
It was free at the Combine.
Oh, good for you. Good. I'm glad you didn't have to shell out 4 figures for so internet. So yeah, I'm glad that they did that for you, and hopefully.
Now, did you get anything in the mail from me yet?
No, I didn't. I mean, I've been checking every day. Hopefully, it comes today. Yeah, I should get my mail in an hour or so. But yeah, I was looking every day, and I haven't gotten anything.
Well, keep looking this week, because just in time for Asmaniac Madness is the first ever Asmaniac apron that I sent your way. I'm going to send one to our guy, Chef Kevin, as well, because you guys are the 2 resident chefs on this program.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to wear him and make you proud and all that. So, yeah, I'll make sure to wear it as much as I can when it comes in.
Good luck in the raffle, Chuck Wagon. You have 60 entries coming up at the end of the show here.
That's awesome. Thank you. Fingers crossed.
The Chuck Wagon, folks.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sincere thank you to Jets Forever. What a legend. Great guy. Great guy. Been watching the show for years. And what he's doing for Chuck Wagon's incredible. It's amazing Chuck hasn't won yet, but we're going to make sure that these entries are applied for the end of our show. I do want to shout out all the guests we had on this week. Obviously, Jets Forever enjoyed Florio. He enjoyed Sims. Florio and Sims, their show is huge in the UK, so it makes sense why JF2 would be a fan. They're on, I think, with the big station in the UK. You could correct me if I'm wrong, JF. I think the big thing in the UK is Sky Sports, and I think their show is simulcast on Sky out there. So they're huge in the UK. I was talking to Sims about this off air. But, I mean, we had Rich Eisen on, Mike Florio, Jordan Reed, Zach Rosenblatt, Nick Faria, Dan Graziano, Connor Rogers, Trevor Sikkema, Omari Brown, Dane Brugler, Matt Miller, Cody Stutes, and Chris Sims as our guests. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Super chat from Amanda Madison. Need to know, are females 4% or 5% viewers now? I haven't checked my up-to-date key demos. So I will definitely look into that before Asmaniac Madness. it kind of varies back and forth. Sometimes if I look over the last, YouTube lets you check like over the last year, 28 days, 7 days. It gives you different ranges, and then you can do like custom ranges. So honestly, it kind of just depends on what time of year I'm checking the demographic or for how long. But for those new to the show, we call our female viewers the 4%ers because pretty much 96% of my audience is male, according to Mr. Tube. Let's see if I can get a range. Over the last 28 days, this is funny. It's 97% male, 2.9% female. So they're actually the 3%ers right now. That's over the last 28, for example. So I'll have to do the full check when I get off air. All right, let's get to more of your calls. Big shout out again to Jets Forever. Let's get to some OGs on the line right now before we do our weekly raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clifton time.
Find someone who loves you as much as Jets Forever too loves the Chuck Wagon.
It's amazing. Chuck Wagon just inspiring a man from a different country.
That's right. Now, I wonder, does Peg count towards the demographic, or how is she listed since she splits the account with Artie?
Yeah, it's a great question. I feel like YouTube has no way of knowing that.
That's right. I think we're understating a key demo is what I'm saying.
Great point.
Simpson, the only way that we should really have any interest in him is if he makes it to 33. I'd like to kind of diffuse that if we can. I know that's going to upset Tank for Ty, and I don't think that he has high bust potential. I think he's got a future in the league, whether it's as an average starter or as a backup. But I think we're getting our long-term quarterback next year. Once you go into this offseason thinking that, it kind of makes things very, very clear. We have so many needs. Taking best player available. I was just looking at the NFL.com grades on these guys, and they really have Reese rated even so much higher than Sonny Styles. For as far as the projection, Pro Bowler, right? It's above a 7 grade for them, which is usually one of the better players in any draft. So, I think that pick 16 gives us a lot of flexibility to just improve the team, whether we're taking a weapon, if one of the 3 receivers happens to fall, or if Sadiq is there, or I don't think Love will be there, but stranger things have happened. It's a weird position group to kind of rate. And then we could certainly still continue to just hammer the defense to bring it up to what we need to do to be competitive. I think I'm not the only Jets fan who kind of feels that defense is such a huge part of our historical identity, as well as the losing. I at least when we have a good defense, we have something to hang our hat on. And we know we're not going to have the quarterback this year. For a guy who's a defensive coach, last year's performance was wholly unacceptable. We have the capital to pull it up in 1 year to be at least hanging in games. Let's see if we can do that.
That's got to be the goal, right? I mean, if you're not going to go quarterback early because it doesn't fit, what positions can you add where you could build out your team, regardless who the long-term coach or quarterback is? Because I look at the Jet offseason this year and next year as like a 2-year rebuild into what this roster can be, given the resources they have with picks and cap space. We know one of the picks is likely going to be on a quarterback. I think it's more likely to be, of course, next year than this year. So the goal should be adding as many good young football players that could be here over the next couple of years and not trying to do like the short, quick fix just because, Aaron Glenn might be looking at like my job is on the line. Like that's where Muji needs to step in and have like the long-term vision solidified.
So just one quick word about free agency. We know that it's a deep safety class in the draft and in free agency. We feel like that's going to push prices down.
Buyer's market.
Yeah. And we think that, Malachi Moore is going to be in the mix, we hope, since we traded up for him, right? You don't want to compound mistakes, but I don't think he's shown enough to say that he's a mistake, but he's also not shown enough to say that he's going to be your definitive starter as a strong safety, right? Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Agreed. I think Malachi Moore has flashed potential to have a role. I'm not just handing him the starting job, though.
Right, and I kind of mentioned this on Boy Green a little bit earlier. I think he's got the flexibility to kind of go between the roles a little bit. So, and at the end of the day, you can't really, change what you did last year. But maybe his role is as a third safety who can kind of go in three safety alignments and kind of fill in both roles. But most of the names I've heard associated with the free agent market are more of the strong safety flavor. I think that you either bring in a guy to compete with Malachi Moore that's going to be cheap, or you go out and you spend on free safety. And I believe that's Cook, right? Cook is the guy that's being bandied about nowadays as one of the more popular names in free agency.
Byron Cook from the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that might be the solution there. I'm thinking that if there's going to be maybe double-digit safeties taken in the first 100 picks, maybe we can just take down value all these other teams, pick their safeties in that range. So, we essentially have these 5 picks in the top 100, one just outside of it. You should be able to get a top 100 player at that pick. Let's go get him. I'm fired up for the offseason. Despite
it took a while, Kyle Clifton, but you're fired up again.
No, it's all in spite of you didn't let me finish, Jake. In spite of the perceived incompetence of our head coach. But I appreciate your time as ever.
I'll tell you what, I don't think it's perceived at this point, but it's kind of earned. But hopefully, he could prove us wrong.
Thanks a lot,
ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Clifton checking in. I got some texts from people. They saw my take on Glenn snoozing, and people were shocked. And I say again, I call it how I see it. I think anyone who's genuinely mad at this is just looking for things to be mad at. All right, you want to be critical of Aaron Glenn? There's things you could be critical of that are completely fair. Him dozing off, we've all been there. All right. It's just when he's under the microscope like he is, everything he does is going to be magnified. And that's why the only thing that will change this is winning games.
So Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets.
Christ, superpowers sleeping. Aaron, wake up!
Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network.
It's just so funny. It really is. What a week at the Combine, huh? Glenn gave us that and this.
Play call is my superpower, really.
I got my exclusive interviews with the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft. Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
We'll see what happens.
Friend of the show, Fernando Mendoza. Friend of the show, Ty Simpson.
Jets, Jets.
Amazing. Super chat from Black Gypsy who says, give my entry to the wagon. Wow, Black Gypsy. Hey now.
Fucking diarrhea. Cha-cha-cha.
What do you think of that gesture, Beast?
I was actually watching Aaron Judge hitting that home run yesterday in one of the games, and all I heard was, "It is high, it is fire, it is gone. See ya!"
Hey, right on topic, Beast. Well done. Appreciate you. I could be wrong. I don't think Judge hit a home run yesterday, though. Must have missed that. Hopefully he hits a couple on the World Baseball Classic, though. Bino writes in, Jacob, 1-year bridge, aim for a QB in 2027. That's it. Look, agreed. And I prefer the 1-year bridge to be someone that just costs money because I don't want to trade any notable draft capital for a 1-year bridge. Now, if you're telling me it's like Derek Carr and it costs a 6th-round pick, like it's not going to cost a lot to get him from New Orleans. Then okay, fine. But like people were like, oh, go get Mac Jones. Neil yesterday, go get Mac Jones. No, I don't want to trade a 2nd-round pick for Mac Jones. If you tell me it's a 4th-round pick, okay, fine. I will trade a 4th-round pick for Mac Jones. I am not trading, though, a 2nd for any quarterback that is potentially out there for the Jets. Gifted membership from 306 Jet 9 in the raffle for 1. Let's get to more of your calls. Appreciate everyone tuned in here on a Saturday show. Again, the Asmaniac Madness bracket reveal is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready. It's happening. More calls.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the Jets. He's one handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hey, Jake. How you doing?
I'm great, Papa. How are you?
Good. Good job this week. Hey,
Thank you.
For your draft party, how far is that from the actual place that's doing the draft?
Right down the street, like adjacent to it.
Really? Okay.
Yep, that's what I've been told. I will have more info when the NFL officially announces all the plans, but checking in with people that live in Pittsburgh that are in the know. Big reason behind the venue selection is it is going to be in the heart of where all the action is.
Cool. Yeah, me and my son went to a game, Pitt Jets game 2 years ago, and I always liked Pittsburgh. I like Pennsylvania in general. I just feel the people are nicer there. But anyways, Jake, I got a out of the box question for you. I was never one to get into jerseys back in the day. And now, like, if you go on the shop to get a jersey, you can print any name. So say if I got a Walker or a Cole shirt, something like that, is that considered cheating?
Is that considered cheating?
Yeah, because it's not original.
I don't know. I don't think you're cheating.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that. I told you it was out of the box, so it was. But that's all I got, Jake. And
you're a big jersey guy, Papa?
I wasn't, but I like to buy some. But all the guys I like, I'm older, so they're all like Wesley Walker, Coles, Mickey Schuler, I wouldn't mind getting, Joe Fields, guys like that,
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Jet fan, I always say you can't go wrong with guys who aren't on the team that are retired anymore. That's why we stopped doing the jerseys for players on the current team because they've all been traded. Like again, we used to do Garrett, Sauce, Quinn, and if you're buying a Jet jersey right now, who are you buying a Jet jersey for?
Yeah, I mean, I might do Tippmann, maybe Membu. That's about it for me.
You're doing the lineman guys. You're doing Olu Tippmann, or you're doing Membu Tippmann or Olu. You're doing Garrett Wilson, and then who else?
Yeah, and I'm O-line anyways.
I have a Jermaine jersey. I have a Sauce jersey. I have a Quinnen jersey. Gone. I have a Brees jersey. I guess you have it for another year, but that's not a great investment if you only can have it for a year.
Yeah. And Jake, one more thing. When you had Clifton on, I don't know why this popped in my head, but do you know how we do the Clifton inside-outside game?
Yep.
If Mad Max is ever on a call and he goes out on a date, we should do the Clifton game. Does Max make it inside or does he stay on the outside? My bet's the outside, but if he ever goes on a date, we'll do it.
You're not wrong, Papa Jet. The beard, by the way, it looks phenomenal. I don't know what you've done to that thing, but it looks extra good today.
I just I put wax in it.
Little wax action.
Wax, oil, some days creams. I don't know. I should just shave it just to be done with it. But if the Jets ever win Super Bowl, it's coming off. So I think I'm good till I'm pushing up daisies.
Hang in there, Papa Jet. You're going to see it someday. I believe.
I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa Jet.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go. Don't you dare let go. Hit the like button if you guys are tuning in. We got 300 people in here live, only 133 likes. Raffle at the end of the show is coming your way. People could still enter this show for your chance to win a Garrett Wilson signed football, Darrelle Revis signed helmet, and a Joe Willie Namath signed helmet. I don't know if I shouted out 306 Jet 9, but I see he has gifted a membership. So 306, thank you.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We had a huge growth in our subscriber number this past week, so I appreciate all the Jet fans and as maniacs, of course, who tuned into our NFL Combine coverage. We're at 44,198. So that's almost like 200 subscribers in a week and a half, which is a big number. Because unfortunately, with the Jets being as bad as they've been, I no longer get like the big growth that we started experiencing. You kind of plateau. You know, I was talking to a guy that does a Niners channel. Got 200,000 subscribers. I'm like, well, that's what happens when you're in the NFC Championship game every other year. You know, you've been in the Super Bowl twice over the last 7-8 years. But if the Jets are ever good, I can't even imagine what that would do. Because the most amount of growth this channel ever experienced was the offseason of 23 with Aaron Rodgers, the trade, the pursuit, all the hype, excitement, hard knocks, all that. Maybe one day we'll get back to that. More of your calls. Appreciate everyone who's on the line. Stay right there, and I promise we're going to get to you.
Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
What's up, best maniacs? How you guys doing today? So,
Good job.
let's talk about my main topic today. So, Aaron Glenn dozing off. It was pretty bad, you know. Honestly, Jake, you know why Aaron Glenn was dozing off? This is what he was actually doing. He was doing the salsa dance. That's what he did. That made him doze off, made him so sleepy. But honestly, we don't need that. That really just Aaron Glenn dozing off. We really just pick and find the players that we currently have. The players are sleepy, boring selves. Honestly, what's up, leader of Jets? What did you think of the Aaron Glenn move with the dozing off for the thing? Oh, the defense is a superpower. No, it's not. Honestly, Aaron Glenn, your defense isn't a superpower. It's horrible. How do you have a defense that has 0 interceptions all year? That's total levels of ineptitude. Pretty embarrassing to have a defense with 0 interceptions. It's not your superpower. It's actually your weakness.
Mad Max, you have to understand, Aaron Glenn dozing off for 10 seconds is the equivalent of you getting 8 hours of sleep. That's his superpower.
You know what else is Aaron Glenn's superpower? Losing games, and the salsa dance is a superpower. That's what it is, Jake. That's Aaron Glenn's superpower. Losing games by 20-plus points every week.
Well, give us another Aaron Glenn dance.
This is the Aaron Glenn dance. This is what he also does. He's in the salsa dance mainly. That's his main dance.
Are you in your college dining hall?
Yes, it is. This is Aaron Glenn. Look at those.
Hey, go get a bagel.
You know? Maybe Aaron Glenn should do this new dance.
Go get a bagel.
Oh my God, I'm so sleepy. Let me do the one arm salsa dance, you know.
Hey, Mad Max, go get a bagel.
Oh man, I don't. Honestly, let's see what Beast thinks of the scrambled eggs. Honestly, let's see what Beast thinks.
Go show us the spread.
A little scrambled eggs, even a little pancakes. Hello, sausage, Jake. Do you want is Beast Breaker on the line? Because I want to see how he ranks these scrambled eggs.
Well, I need you to go give us a tour of the dining facility, and I'll give you Beast.
This is our little store. So we have like a couple tables. It's a nice little. We have a little area over here. It's very nice dining hall. We have like a super nice area.
Can you hear me?
And then we have a little table now, and then we're just playing a little walk around, you know. So how was the combine, Jake? How was the combine?
It was great.
Beast Breaker, what's up with you? How you doing today? Honestly, Beast, how you doing today?
Have you been smoking 40 cigarettes again lately?
No, Beast. I'm just always energized. Honestly, Beast, we do have $3 billion. So with the $3 billion, we got to get players with an attitude. You know, we got to get players with muscles. You know, players that are winners, not players that quit or fold into adversity. Beast. We need players that win. They fight. They have a fighter mentality. You know the Rocky movies, Beast. You know the Rocky Balboa. Probably one of the best.
I own all 6 of them, by the way. If you want a really good one to watch Rocky 3 against him and Mr. T.
Or Creed. Creed's like one of the best boxer movies of all time. Or Cobra Kai.
No. Watch Rocky 3. You'll get a kick out of him and T at the Garden. And boy, was Rocky tough. He was down. He went from a 202 to 191, and Creed trained his ass hard. And I'm talking real hard.
Honestly, Beast, have you ever seen Cobra Kai, the TV show?
I have that on my phone. Thank you very much.
You've never watched Cobra Kai, or you've never seen it? Continuation of the 1984 classic, The Karate Kid.
Hey! Cigarette head. Relax. Take your time. It's Saturday. I'm still waking up from my mocha, trying to get out of the fog right now. I've seen Cobra Kai. Terry Silver's still one of my favorites. Mike Barnes is one of my favorites. Even Chosen is another one. Even the great, the guy that led the Cobra Kai, especially with his fear, does not exist in his dojo, does it? Pain does not exist in his dojo, does it? That's how you do it.
Honestly, we need players like Johnny Lawrence, people that have no fight, they have no quit, they continue to move forward. There are some players that really fit that mold. Alex Pierce, he never quits. He's never quit. He's never had doubt. He has doubt in his life.
First of all, before you do anything, you need boys. You need boys with an attitude, boys with some strength, some wisdom, courage, some respect. Even have some fight in them, and also have some discipline. That's what brings you to the dance. If you can't do it, then you know what? Take your ball and get the hell out of here.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Man, that was a wild back and forth between Beast and Mad Max. Where do we go from here? Well, there's a guy on the line who loves Ty Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, leader of Jets. He just dropped off the call. Well, leader of Jets, you had your moment. I was looking forward to hearing your thoughts on my interview with Ty. Lou B checks in. Rodgers jersey can be retagged as Reese. I have 3. You might not be wrong. As long as you have a Rodgers jersey from the current jerseys. Because remember, Rodgers 2023, he had the last year of the old Adam Gase era jerseys. And then the Jets did the jersey switch. Sam Aiken with the super chat. He's in our raffle for 2. Thank you, Sam.
Good job.
Great job, Jake. Can we have your next Scouts interview breakdown receivers? What if Malachi Fields would pick 44? Yes, we'll definitely start to talk more about other receiver options besides really the big 3 we focused in on, which is Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson. We definitely could talk more about some of the other options. I like Omar Cooper from Indiana. Denzel Boston is a popular name that's been mocked to the Jets. KC Concepcion from A&M. So we definitely could talk about some of the other wide receiver options. Amy says, which round, when will we draft the safety? I think safety's in play in the 2nd round for the Jets. It's a really good safety class. I could see that. They will leave the draft with a safety, though. There's no doubt. All right, leader of Jets is called back in, folks, so buckle up. Here we go. Can leader of Jets do enough to make the tournament? That's the question. Hello, leader of Jets.
Hello. I didn't realize there was a bracket. What was my seating?
Well, it hasn't been announced yet. 6 p.m. tomorrow.
6 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, I apologize for missing it. I've been a little bit out of action. I heard Jersey talk. I started off really hot, had a Pennington, had a Curtis Martin, had a Santana Moss. My dad, as a joke, got me a Mike Nugent jersey, which lasted a very short time. How old are you, Jake, if you don't mind me asking?
30.
You remember when the Jets drafted Mike Nugent? You probably did. You're very young. Yeah, what a joke that was. But I had 3 Jamal Adams. Obviously had a Sam Darnold, had a Zach Wilson, had an Aaron Rodgers. The next jersey that I get, I'm going to let you choose. when Ty Simpson goes 2.
If they draft Ty at 2, I will buy you a Ty Simpson Jets jersey. He might go 16. I don't think that's crazy, but I don't think he's going to go 2.
Yeah, the trade really makes that tough. It kind of solidifies either Reese or Bailey. Now, let's say they do go Ty Simpson at 2. And I still do like the idea of an edge at 16. I forget the other kid from Miami, Mesidor. You have any
Mesidor, yep.
Yeah, do you have any thoughts there?
I don't know if I would take him at 16. That feels a little early.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. Being like the second best pass rusher on your team kind of drives your value down, but it also can be kind of
he might go late 1 though. Like he's a 3-4 defensive end, so he kind of does fit what the Jets need. I think Kendrick Falk is in play. He's the guy from Auburn. He's 6'6", 285. We know Glenn loves those big type of defenders.
He had a weird what do they call it? The hoop drill. He didn't look very bendy. He didn't have the pass rush, but like you said, he's huge.
Yeah, I don't know if they take him at 16 though. I could be wrong.
Now I wanted to check on you as well. Did you catch a cold or anything at the combine?
No, I don't think. I have.
Your mental state is okay?
I'm all right. Yeah, we're grinding away. This was the first time I've done the 3 marquee offseason events. We did Senior Bowl, Super Bowl, and Combine. So it's a lot of travel 3 of the last 5 weeks.
Well, you were defending Aaron Glenn, so I had to make sure that you were okay.
Everyone knows I'm a big Glenn guy, and
the biggest.
I defended this man's right to doze off. We've all been there. I think people making this a big deal are just looking for things to be mad about. There are legit things to criticize this man for, and I will continue to do so because I stick to the things that matter as far as being a football coach. Him dozing off during a 40-yard dash, what does it matter? Like, he just needs to know the time of the player.
Yeah, it's a big stretch, and it's just the LOL Jets. I think he's looking down to begin with. Maybe he closed his eyes for a second.
His eyes are closed. Again, you don't have the reaction he did where he was like, whoa, like that. We've all been there, that like, you just wake up, like it happens all the time.
That was a man who saw himself on TV.
No, someone in that booth told him, "Hey, Aaron, wake up! You're on TV."
What is your shirt you have on? It looks like a nice vintage.
Well, it's not really even vintage.
Oh yeah, it's the new logo. Looks good.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Well, I don't have much because it doesn't look like Ty's going to go 2. But
are you waving the white flag on our bet? What do you owe me if he doesn't go 2?
My cat's jumping around. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was 100 subs, $100 towards
100 memberships, right?
Yeah, that's what's it's $100. Was
$100? Yes, that'd be 20 gifted memberships.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm still hopeful. I could see him rising. We'll see how he does on the board. Things are trending against me, but I'm still hopeful. I'm sorry, my cat. I have 2 cats. One's Sam Darnold. The other is Simon.
Your cat is named Sam Darnold?
Yeah. So how I am about Ty Simpson, I was more about Sam Darnold. I had bets with my buddies that he would make the Hall of Fame before he took a snap in the NFL. Which, listen, I know QBs, okay? Ty Simpson can really lead an NFL franchise.
You think Ty Simpson is going to be as good as Sam Darnold?
So I've kind of taken a different approach to the NFL. I would say ultimately, yes, I do believe so. I think NFL QB, it's become easier. So there's a baseline, okay? Can Ty Simpson be a top 15 NFL quarterback? And I think the answer is yes. And I can make that case for someone like Bo Nix. Like, did you watch a lot of Bo Nix in college? He stunk. Like, he transferred out of the SEC.
I don't know if he stunk. I mean, he got at Oregon, he was really good.
But I don't think anybody watched him and really thought like, oh, this is an NFL quarterback. I think the same could be said about players like Michael Penix. J.J. McCarthy didn't do much in college. But if you're a baseline, you're so good that
he lost like one game in college. I get it. He was on a stacked team, but still.
I like J.J. McCarthy, and I would have drafted him where they did. I have no problem. That's just the premium. But in terms of is Ty Simpson the perfect QB package. Of course not. But are all these NFL players also that level? So instead of judging them, is he going to be better? I think, has he met the threshold that he can be an NFL quarterback in the right situation? And I think undoubtedly the answer is yes. He's sharp. Did you tell him about me when you saw him?
Yeah, I said leader of Jets really wants you to go number 2.
Yeah.
My question though, the follow-up question was really like, you're one of the people I'm referencing here. Here was the full thing.
Hey Ty, what was the Jet meeting like for you?
It was cool. It was really cool. I got to talk to Frank Wright and Coach Glenn and those guys. We just got to work ball, and they're the best. So if I had the opportunity to play for them, it would be awesome.
There's a ton of Jet fans who are huge fans of yours. What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
He was saying that to you, leader of Jets. You're the Ty Simpson sycophant. You and Tank for Ty.
Do I have an affiliate, Tank for Ty?
Tank for Ty is the guy in the chat that is always arguing for Ty Simpson.
If there was a ranking between myself and Tank for Ty, is there a bracket? Am I 1? Is he 2?
Well, you both would be in the national title game against each other.
Okay, all right. A worthy opponent, that is for sure.
I'll tell you what. He could be a Jet. It just won't be at 2. But either way, I might still get you a Ty Simpson jersey anyway. We'll see.
Oh, that's big. That's breaking. I am going to Epcot tomorrow. I told you I'm a Florida guy these days. I'm originally from Connecticut, and then I'm going to be in Asia for 2 weeks, so I might not be able to tune in. Do you have any requests? Can I spread your channel in Hong Kong, in Manila, anywhere?
Yes, please tell the great people of Hong Kong and all parts of Asia that the Jets are the preeminent team that you want to be following, and the Jake Asman shows the place for it.
I'll say the Jake Asman part, but I can't spread bad Jets propaganda.
It wouldn't be the worst thing that's been spread in that country.
Well, pray for me. I wish you the best. Thank you for coming around. I could tell this is a more positive Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, leader of Jets.
Jets.
I'm telling you, leader of Jets, all it took was Ty Simpson hitting me with the Jet chant. I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't know he was going to do that. That's all it took. Some good old pandering. T-Town Jet in the raffle for 1. Thank you, T-Town. All right, home stretch of the show here. We're going to get to the raffle, so make sure you get your last-second entries like T-Town just did. Couple calls remaining, and then we spin the Wheel of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Again, the bracket reveal for Asmaniac Madness is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I was looking back at the one we did last year. It had like 3,000 views. We didn't do a second of Jet content. I don't even think like the word Jets was mentioned more than a couple times the whole 3-hour show it ended up being, because we had all the people calling in to talk about their seating. So tomorrow should be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this man became a huge star because of the tournament a year ago. Here we go. It's One Punch Dave Brigger.
He thinks that Gorman needs to get a freaking job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What they call him, One Punch Brigger. You need to get a job. What they call him, One Punch Brigger. The beast is on his ass. They call him One Punch Brigger. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him One Punch Brigger. You'll only need one.
Hello, Jake.
Hello, Dave.
I got a bad connection. It keeps going in and out here. I've been traveling, doing some business. So anyway, I think we have this, the key to what happened to Glenn yesterday or what the day before. He might be a victim of narcolepsy. You can't blame the guy if he's got that condition. I'll just give you a perfect example. I used to have a job in an office, and the girl up the aisle she used to always constantly dozing off. So, people used to get, she's not paying attention. Well, she finally brought in an excuse to her supervisor that she had narcolepsy. So we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He may just have a condition,
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things people could pick on Glenn for. I just didn't feel the need to pile on, I'm just like, I saw it. I just laughed. I was just like, of course. Brandon Tierney had, I thought, the funniest reaction to it. He was so mad about it. I'm just like, I don't have the energy to be that mad over it again. Like I'll save my rants for when the Jets
Right.
inevitably lose 31-10 on opening day, and Glenn's superpower defense is horrific.
We got a lot more problems than Glenn dozing off, you know?
Yep, exactly.
That's nothing. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Jake, right?
See, I'm an Aaron Glenn guy. Everyone knows.
Oh, yeah. 100%. You're on board. Anyway, so you guys are going to the Steel City. How are you going to meet up there?
Yes, you going to join us, Dave?
Well, it's all the way across the other end of the state from where we are. I mean, that's like three hours. It's almost 300 miles. I'll see, you know? I'll see.
Yeah, you got to make the trip if you can.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty good ride. The ride to Penn State's the same way, so I used to make that ride a lot of times when Joe Pa was the coach, you know. But to the Steel City, you'll get a lot of maybe you go to some of those museums, take those guys around, and show them some real achievement where steel was made, you know, in the old days. Now there's nothing left. And Revis's hometown is not far from there.
That's right. Yeah, and he played college ball at Pitt, obviously, too.
A lot of good. Hey, that's the cradle of great quarterbacks. Joe Montana, Joe Willie, Dan Marino. Yep. Dan Marino was from Pittsburgh. Yeah. The guy we missed out on. You know, that'll always be a pain in my side.
I know. It's tough. People talk about Ken O'Brien, though, like he was really bad. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't bad, but he was a Marino, you know? I mean, come on.
Ken O'Brien and Dan Marino won the same amount of Super Bowls.
That's about it, but who knows what would have happened. But, you know, it's just I never forget that day as long as I live. We all thought they were going to pick him, and I forget who was. I think Kinsel was the general manager, somebody like that anyway.
Yep.
So they passed on him. So what's new? So that's what we hope for this draft coming up. I don't want to reiterate what I said before, but I'm just worried we're going to pick the right players. I trust Muji. I don't trust Glenn. As far as this Simpson goes, I don't know. That's another shot in the dark. I'm not too hep on guys that have to be, projection players, but we'll see. Hey, everything hangs in a balance for him this year. But I'd like to go out to Pittsburgh, but we'll have to see. It's a long trip, and I'd have to drive out there. I don't mind. I'm just trying to make this. That's why I'm coming back now. I'm trying to make a deal on the car, so trying to get back to the house. I see you're back in there. You're back in the saddle in New York, right?
Love it, Dave. You're the man. Hopefully you can make it out, all right?
Yeah, I will give him my best shot. All right. Best Maniac Madness coming up tomorrow. The picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Take
almost
care.
time.
God bless.
Dave Brigg, everybody.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him one-punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him one-punch Brigger. His claim is not too dirty. Call him one-punch Brigger. Hated jokes, he's fighting sides. One-punch Brigger. Doesn't only need one.
The great Dave Brigga. Hey, Robin Boy wondering in the raffle for one. Let's go, Robin. Give him a hug.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
For those who missed the announcement, you're going to hear more details as we get closer, but we shared it the other day on the Breaking News Jermaine Johnson live stream. McFadden's Pittsburgh, 211 North Shore Drive, Pittsburgh, PA, down the block from where the draft will be held. First ever draft party on site of the draft. So this was the year to do it. Pittsburgh's drivable. I know a ton of Jet fans going. And I want to shout out Lou B and everyone at McFadden's for reaching out and making this a reality for all of us. We're going to get to more of your calls. But first, let me talk about today's sponsor, Rula. Look, if you're a Jet fan, you probably need therapy. Let's be honest. All right. The Jets have caused a lot of emotional damage to us. And then you got everyday life that also could do some damage to you. And it's hard to find a good way to get health or for your mental health. That's where Rula comes in. They're a healthcare provider group that makes therapy simple and affordable. They work with the most major insurance plans. The average copay is about $15 per session, less than a beer at MetLife. With Rula, you get matched with licensed vetted therapists who actually fit what you're looking for, and you can book sessions fast, sometimes as soon as the next day. No long waits, no guessing, no nonsense. So if you're ready to invest in your mental health the same way you invest in the Jets every week, go to Rula.com/Asman to get started. That's RULA.com/Asman. Take the first step and take control of your mental health with Rula. Shout out to Rula for being one of our new sponsors. Bino with a super chat. Brigga shows up. That draft party instantly becomes a job fair. Well played, Bino. Well played. Well, you could say the draft is the job fair, right? Like Gypsy all over that. Lou B in the house. I hope you all come to the draft party. Lou B, you know we're going to pack that place. It's going down. Hawk writes in, Jake, these new sponsors are hilarious. Hangover medicine and therapy. Can you think of two better sponsors for Jet fans? Do I know my audience or what? Ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned the Brandon Tierney cut that I thought was so funny. So this was BT's reaction to Glenn napping. I just thought the F-bomb he threw in here. So there's kids around, warning. I just thought this was so funny. Here's BT's take on Glenn napping.
Of Aaron Glenn yesterday is just, it's really one of the most, it's just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, dude. You fell asleep at the fucking combine. You fell asleep. What? And it would be bad enough if the punters were working out, or the kickers, or, you know, the action hadn't started yet. The Jets have the second overall pick. The video of Aaron Glenn yesterday.
He fell asleep at the effing combine. Unreal. Could you guys hear that, by the way? Because it was playing a little different on my end. I want to make sure you guys heard the audio. Beast, did you hear that sound? Probably not the right guy to ask. Gary, did you hear that sound? You did. Okay. Rooster, did you hear that?
I did.
All right. Thank you. Nick Sean, did you hear that?
No, I'm still Googling the therapy link that you just shared. Get back to me.
Okay. Thank you. All right. More of your calls right now. The Rooster's next. Hello, Rooster.
How we doing today? Quick point on the Aaron Glenn thing. By itself, it's a nothing burger. But with everything that this guy is, it's a pattern, and that's the problem. All the things he's done, the one thing, don't fall asleep at the combine. I mean, just don't do it. I mean, how hard is that? You're representing the organization. I mean, it's not that. I'm not asking you to have a notepad and whatever you're doing, just don't fall asleep. And Faria yesterday trying to say that he wasn't sleeping was disrespectful to what are you talking about? Everyone knows this is a wake up. But anyway, it's just part of a pattern with this fucking guy, and you know, and it matters. It does. You're representing the Jets. You have the 2 pick. Try to stay awake. Anyway,
I get it. It's just funny. Like I'm sure he's not the other
funny.
one that does.
But that's what's everything. I just feel he's a phony. It's something about him. The Superman comment, just everything about the guy is just off a little. But anyway, great trade getting the nose tackle. Unbelievable. Everything starts in the middle. This guy could clog up the middle. Reminds me, I think the last big clogger, maybe I'm wrong, Chris Jenkins.
Big clogger. I got one of those on hold right now.
He's in a good mood today because like because we're bombing Iran. I'm sure he's popping up and excited.
Come on, man.
Anyway, 16. You know, I've gone back and forth with Simpson, and then the measurements came that he was under 6'1". You can't do it at 16. There's too much.
Is he under 6'1"? Did that come out?
It was like 6 foot 6'0", just under 6'1". It's too small. If now
Too
30
small at 2 and probably 16.
Yes, 33. I run it. I'll tell you why. I read the last.
He's 6'1" and 1/8. I'm seeing here.
It's small. It's not a first round. I'm not taking a guy under 6'2", 6'3", and at 6.
I get it, but that's
a project.
Care about that. 6'1" plus is better than under 6'1". That matters.
Yeah, a little. Can I read you the 33rd, last 10 picks at 33? The Browns took Schlesinger. The Bills took Keon Coleman. The Titans, Will Levis. The Buccaneers, Leon Hall. The Jaguars, Tyson Campbell. The Bengals, home run, T. Higgins. Cardinals very good. Brian Murphy Jr. The Browns Austin Corbett. The Packers Kevin King, and the Titans some guy Dodd. So my point is, at 33, you could do whatever you want. You want to run and take Ty Simpson there. You want to push back and try to get more picks. The 33 is a real crapshoot pick. It's just showing you that. So you want to take Ty Simpson at 33? I'm racing there. You want to get out at 33 to get more picks? I'm racing to do that too. So listen, good start to the getting that nose tackle. I think that means we're taking Reese at 2, and let's go. And then at 16, best player available. That's it. We need so many holes. Whoever that Muji has on his board at 16, I don't want to trade up. Stay at 16. Deal with 33. Have 44. Let's have some fun. Jake, you're the man.
Rooster, good call. Again, if they take Ty at 33, I'm fine with it. I don't want him at 16. That's just where I'm at. Let's see. Get to your last second calls. We have the raffle as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for this man to call in. We need a medical update from a man standing 9 toes tall.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Bobby.
Hi, Jake. How you doing?
I'm good, Bobby. How are you feeling?
Dr. Lacani let go of healing. So I got to stay here until Wednesday. Then I go home.
Wow, that's soon, though,
Yeah,
Bob.
I just saw him yesterday. So he said he was fine with me going home on Wednesday. That's what he said.
Now, do you
Good,
have
for next year,
people
you got-
taking care of you when you go home?
Yeah, Biala's got to wrap my foot up. Remember, I told you the nurses, Biala, they wrap up my wound. Then every Friday, I go to the wound clinic. Yeah, everything's good. And I got a new bed too at home. I got a lot of stuff at home.
I heard
Looks good.
your place needed some major renovations.
Yep. Especially the toilet bowl. We got a new toilet bowl.
Oh, I
that
heard.
was leaking so bad. Yeah, toilet bowl. Yeah, not good. So how was your trip?
It was a great trip. Magical.
That's good. Who's this Ty Simpson? What college is he in?
Alabama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him now. And who's the nose tackle that we picked up?
Well, they traded for Tavondre Sweat.
Oh, yeah. Did he play for the Washington Commanders at one time, too?
The Tennessee
Or I
Titans.
got the wrong Sweat. Oh, there's a Sweat on the Commanders, isn't there? Sweat?
You're thinking of
Or am I
Montez
wrong?
Sweat, who's on the Bears. He used to play
Oh,
for the
so
Washington Commies, though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You got the wrong Sweat. Okay. So, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm positive. Me and I call Nick Show today. We're the 9-toe brothers,
You
We're
guys
doing
are.
good.
Yep, you guys look alike, too.
Yeah, and then his kids did not believe Nick told them what happened. Yeah. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Bobby. How
How
you doing,
doing,
buddy?
my homeboy?
I'm
Good,
good,
how
pal.
you doing?
I'm glad to see you in good
Good,
spirits,
good.
my friend.
Yeah, well, I thought I was going home Sunday, but the nurse called my parents and told her that I'm worried about him going home on Wednesday, Sunday. So Wednesday's the dead deal. So that's what my doctor said. So we're going with the doctor. That's
Well, the
Dr.
most important
Lacani. You
thing,
know
like
him,
I've been
right, Jake?
telling you, the goal is
Yeah.
once you get home to stay there.
Yeah.
If they got to keep you a couple
Yeah,
extra
definitely.
days, it's not the end of the world. But when you walk back to
No, it's
Canal
not.
Street, you don't want to come back
Yeah.
to the hospital.
No, I do not want to do that. No, I agree. No, Dr. Lacani, you know him, right, Jake?
I do know him.
Yeah, he's the one who took care of my surgery. He says it's going good. He just saw it on Friday, so he's happy.
Now, Bobby, do you think we could get that toilet and Jake could raffle your old toilet off?
I think they got rid of the old one.
Good call. All right.
The old
Well,
one
now
was
you lost all the
bad.
weight. This new toilet's not going to take a beating.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm down to 236, Jake.
You're
with me
a
the other
physical
day.
specimen.
I know. I
Jake,
was
we both have 9
366,
toes and we
you know?
both weigh 236. That's I got to lose another toe or
That
gain
is
weight. Me and Bobby have too
crazy.
much in common.
I know. Yeah. You're like my cousin, then. You could be cousins.
Yes.
Like cousin
Can't wait for
Larry
the family
for
reunion.
Perfect Strangers. Yeah, family reunion. Let's go. Yeah, we do. And then I want to come down May to see Craig when we go to the baseball games with him. That would be great.
Hey, Bobby, you weigh less than Beast according to Sham.
Yeah,
A lot
Shan.
less than
Yeah, I
Beast.
think he weighs more. Beast weighs more than 242, like he says he does. He does not weigh 242.
Let me
There's
ask
no
him.
his stomach. His stomach might weigh 242. That's about.
Hey, Bobby, are you all right? You all right there, big fella?
I was 366. I was a fat bastard before. I know how fat
That's
he
the
is.
weight of
I am.
our new nose tackles, 366.
Relax. It's 272.
Hello, Beast. How you
Weapon
doing?
of fear. It's
How's
272.
Ohio? How's Illinois? I mean, how's Illinois? Is it warm there? Is it 50?
Wait, people are talking at once. Turn down the noise. Ears.
Okay, Jake, how's it in New York? Is it 50 degrees down there?
It is. Let's see what the temperature is.
I'm in the truck. I got 51 degrees here in Central Jersey on the truck.
Yeah, we're like 50 up here today, too.
36 here by me. We got snow coming.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Bobby!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Bobby Nine Toes having the Mikey Midnight Wi-Fi takeover.
It's probably got a Mikey Midnight phone call coming in.
Oh, we know how those go. Well, Bob, I'm glad you're doing a lot better. And keep us posted.
And for Black Gypsy's comment, I'm not 350, big fella. I'm 272 of pure muscle and might. Don't knock on my door. If you want answers, you're gonna get answers the ECW way. Now, let's go back to the Jake Asman show.
Today's closer is Nick Shine. Nick.
Hey man, great work. I listened to the Matt Miller interview this morning, and I'm with him, man. Like I can't even entertain Ty Simpson in round one. We have too many needs at starters and important positions to take a guy who's going to sit and to take a guy who's very well going to get replaced next year. Like, why burn the draft pick? Like, Jets fans would lose their minds if we take Simpson and then we have to take a quarterback in round one again next year. They're going to be very upset by it. So just take the best possible players. Simpson, he got worse as the year went on, man. The more film that came out on him, the less he showed.
He was also hurt. And Alabama's O-line was in shambles. Again, I don't want him at 16 either. I'm just saying, like, you could talk yourself into Ty Simpson if the Jets do it.
I can't in round one. Now, if it's 33 and you bump up to 30 to get it just to have the 50-year option in case something goes really good, I would get that. But I can't burn 2 or 16 on a quarterback with this many questions. I would rather just take a guy with a similar skill set to whatever free agent quarterback we get and align them that this way you can coach and teach the scheme the same way from backup to rookie or from veteran to rookie.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying I think Ty Simpson to the Jets is definitely on the table. Like, I'm not going to be stunned if they took him at 16. I wouldn't agree with it, but I wouldn't be stunned.
I'm going to be pissed if we take him at 16. I'm not going to lie.
I wouldn't be thrilled either. Again, I think he can make it to 33. I don't think it's crazy. Because, again, one of these teams that's in on him is going to sign Malik Willis. If he goes to Miami, they're not taking him at 11. I don't think Arizona's going to take him at 3. The Jets pick in front of the Cardinals. So I think he can make it to 33 and surprise.
I'm projecting Willis goes to Arizona, the LaFleur connection. They're going to know the good and the bad. They're going to talk behind the scenes. Obviously, they're brothers. So I think he ends up there. I do. That would take Arizona out of it. But I don't know, man. If I'm taking a quarterback, I want a quarterback who at 23 years old has played. He hasn't played. You know, if you're 20 years old and there's upside and you're Dante Moore and people could see the elite traits, okay, I would have got that this year. I would have understood that. But 23, lack of experience, play got worse as the season went on. I don't know. There's too many question marks there. And now you're bringing him into a coaching staff with question marks. Now, I get it. Musgrave is experienced. I like that. I think that's our best hire, to be honest with you, this offseason. But I don't know, man. I would not be an ounce of enthusiasm about it. And I can try to spin anything positively. I would not like that at all.
Well, again, I agree with you, but I'll play devil's advocate. If you draft Ty and you're saying, oh, well, you know, he's an older prospect and he hasn't started a lot, you could say, well, he was at Alabama and he got to play against NFL players every practice. Yeah, when he got to play for Nick Saban. He's the son of a coach. He did have moments this year where he had better performances than the consensus number one guy in Mendoza. Like before he got hurt and before Alabama's O-line really disintegrated on him, he was playing really, really well the first 7 weeks of the season or so. So,
yeah, but how many of those were cupcake games? Because I know Alabama put some cupcake games early where they'll put 60 points up. They'll pad the stats, you know?
Well, I mean, let's look at their beginning stretch of the season.
They'll play like Southwestern New Mexico State and beat them 70-6.
Well, they beat UL Monroe 73-0. That was a
sorry. Check.
Wisconsin 38-14. Georgia, they beat Georgia. Your school.
We're not going to talk about that, Jake. We're friends. Why do we bring those things up?
He was good in that game, though.
I know he was.
He was 24 of 38 for 276, 2 touchdowns, no picks. They won 24-21. Ty Simpson against Wisconsin played well. Threw for 382 that day, 38-14. Against Vanderbilt, he played well, 340 in a win, 30-14. They won that one. Missouri, he played well. Missouri was ranked 14. Tennessee, he played great. Tennessee was ranked 11.
And that's where it starts to dip, right?
It started to dip after the LSU win. They lost to Oklahoma 23-11. Honestly, the dip for Ty was not like they won a lot of games. It was just like they lost to Oklahoma. They lost to Georgia in the SEC title game.
All right, that game you could talk about. Tell me more.
I'm
a Georgia fan, for those that don't know.
I think people use that game, and that's the game that people have the lasting memory of for Simpson. Yeah. But we did a film review of that game with Joe Blowett, and there were a lot of drops in that game, and the O-line couldn't protect him. Like, that wasn't just on the quarterback.
How do you feel we take him? We have a veteran who we win 7 games this year. The veteran plays well. We're not getting blown out. We're in close games. The defense is improved. We don't really get to see Simpson. And then the Colts end up with a top 5 pick. We're picking like 14th, right? People are going to be furious if we take another. This is with the theory that we take him with 16 this year. People are going to be furious if we take a top 5 pick on another quarterback after spending a number 1 the year before. And I like next year's class too much. Not just Manning, Moore, Mensa. You don't have to get the number 1 next year to get the quarterback. So I don't want to take us out of next year's quarterback, and I don't want to burn 2 1s on the same position to have one of them then get buried on the bench for years to come.
I agree.
Just doesn't make sense.
Well, you would trade Simpson, I think, if you don't believe in him, or it's a new coaching staff coming in. It'd be the Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray thing all over again. Again, it's not ideal, but like if they took Simpson at 16, what if it works out? That's the only. Again, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like if they were to draft him, we're only considering the negatives of it. What if it actually worked?
It's ridiculous. We're the Jets, Jay. What are you doing here?
I know. I'm just saying, I leave Indy saying, don't be shocked that they took him at 16. I still don't think they will ultimately, but I think they would take him at 33.
Yeah, like I said, if it's the 33 bump up late into 1, I would accept it more because I know we have the potential to get 2 good impact players immediately at 2 and 16. If you're taking someone with your 3rd pick, that's normally the 3rd round, right? We just have the luxury of having 3 picks in the top 33. So I don't know. I look at this opportunity. We already started it with Sweat. The opportunity to build a dominant front 7 on defense and be a team that can stop the run and rush the passer is too valuable to me to take the chance on a quarterback. If it's someone who has, if you told me Simpson is 21 years old, he's got 24 starts already, he's played better as the season went on, he looks drastically different from year 1 to year 2, and he's trending upward, I would be more okay with it. But I just think there's too many red flags to plant your flag in the ground with him with the 16th overall pick. That's me. I know everyone might not agree. And great work, man, this week. It was a lot of fun watching it, and I'm happy for you and all the success that you're having, my friend.
Thank you, Nick, and we will talk to you tomorrow night when the bracket is revealed.
You got it, man.
Let's go, baby. The great Nick Shine, folks. Who's ready for the Wheel of Champions to be spun? That's my superpower. Spinning wheels.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Oh, yeah. You ready, Ty Simpson?
Jets, Jets.
Yeah. Jets, Jets. He knows how to pander. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our weekly raffle. It's about to go down, but first, let me shout out Derek, the Jet fan, in the raffle for 1, and Cockadoodle-Doo, the Rooster, in the Asmaniac raffle for 1.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
All right, folks, here we go. It's the weekly raffle. But first, we bring on Mr. Diarrhea Cha-Cha-Cha.
Fucking diarrhea cha-cha-cha. Hello, everybody. This is Beetlejuice from the great movie Beetlejuice. Hey, get ready right now because we're going to spin that 2026 Wheel of Champions. Let's go to the wheel and have some fun. And kids, have a nice weekend. And remember, say it once, say it twice. And now it's time to get to that wheel. Now it's time to go. It's time to blast. Yeehaw!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
We have no idea what we just watched there, folks, but we watched it. Thank you, Beast. Nick Shine, who just had a great call on the program, says, raffles, please. Nick Shine is in our raffle for 2 at the very end here. Nick Shine, good luck to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, all the entries from the past week are entered here in the wheel. Good luck to everyone. Thank you to everyone who supports the program, because we couldn't do it without you. Again, we got 3 prizes to raffle away. Prize 1's a signed helmet by Joe Namath, Broadway Joe. Prize 2, Darrelle Revis autographed helmet. Prize 3, a signed football by G5, Garrett Wilson. All right, those are the prizes. Now we spin the wheel. First up is the Joe Namath autographed helmet. And if you win, email me, asmanjake@gmail, your name and address so I know where to send it. Here we go. The winner of prize 1, the Namath helmet, is... the Rooster. Hey, how about the Rooster who called in earlier and is a part of the show? Breaking news, Rooster, winner 1.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Congratulations to the Rooster. Again, you can only win 1 prize per raffle, so we take out his entries and we spin the wheel again. I see Rooster is still in the chat, so Rooster, congratulations, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, we spin again. Prize number 2 that we raffle away is a signed helmet by Darrelle Revis. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is... Muttballs. Muttballs had a huge membership drop when Richie was on our show the other day. Congratulations, Muttballs. Shoot me an email because I don't have your info. I don't think you're in my Discord. We will make sure that you get your Darrelle Revis signed helmet. Congratulations to Muttballs. He is the winner. Let's remove his entries now. Ladies and gentlemen, One spin left to determine a world champion of our raffle. The final prize is an autographed football by Garrett Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, one last spin to determine a winner. Could Chuckwagon finally get a W? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. KND, King and Dreams, the final winner. Hit it. Congratulations to our 3 raffle winners. Rooster for the Namath helmet, Mutt Valves for the Revis helmet, and last and certainly not least, KND for the G-Dub Garrett Wilson autograph football. Congrats to our winners. I don't understand how Chuckwagon hasn't won yet, but we play on. Jets Forever number 2 says he will stop at nothing until Chuckwagon wins. Amazing. Amazing. Chuckwagon, you're getting at least an Asmaniac apron. That I do know. But again, this is about the winners right now. So congrats to the Rooster, Mutt Valves, and KND. You guys are our 3 weekly raffle winners. Tomorrow night, when we do the bracket reveal, I will have a new set of some prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night. Asmaniac Madness bracket reveal, 2nd annual Asmaniac Madness tournament will be getting underway. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned into our combine coverage this week. The feedback has been off the charts. It really makes it worthwhile to do these type of things when the audience seems to enjoy it. And I know I certainly had a blast bringing you guys the best coverage possible. Again, like the video. Shout out to our sponsor, FanDuel. If you're betting on any college games today, do it with FanDuel. If you're betting on any NBA games today, make sure you do it with FanDuel as well. And if you go on FanDuel right now and you take a look at the odds for the number 2 pick in the draft, you're going to see right now it's David Bailey and Arvell Reese who have the same odds. Now, if you've heard the show, I've told you, I believe that it's ultimately going to be Arvell Reese, but you could bet on the draft and anything football with our sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook. Again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. We'll talk to you tomorrow night for the bracket reveal. Take it away, Ty. Go Jets.
Jets, 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 Jets.
So Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets.
Christ, superpowers sleeping. Aaron, wake up!
Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!